Now at 4:30 on WKYT this morning, police say a man is in critical condition after a driver found his car wrecked in a ditch.
Police in one central Kentucky county are searching for a suspect who used their car to break into a gun store.
And Lexington police are looking for two suspects involved in an overnight carjacking.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's very early on your Friday, and we're glad you're up and at it with us on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Let's get a first look at our Friday forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, we're looking outside. Another cool start to the day, sitting in the low to mid 50s, and we'll finish off pretty much right there. I don't see us going any lower than that. But heading in toward the afternoon, we're going to be seeing a lot of these conditions settle in, not just from the 50s to the 70s, but the 50s to even the 80s. You got 52 degrees in Richmond, Mount Sterling, Moorhead at 59 degrees, and then we'll settle right there around 82 by the afternoon. So we're getting slightly warmer, typically indicates some rain. We'll get into that forecast coming up.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. We thank you. And new this morning on WKYT, a vehicle was found wrecked in a ditch near the intersection of Ironworks Pike and Newtown Pike.
A witness called police after finding the vehicle around 11 last night. When they got there, they said the driver was in critical condition. Investigators are still trying to figure out what led to the wreck. A witness told police the car was still smoking when he discovered it. Well, new this morning, police say a couple was carjacked at gunpoint in the west end of Lexington. Police say this all took place just after 1 this morning on Cambridge Drive. The couple told police they were just arriving at their apartment when two suspects got out of a green passenger car and robbed them at gunpoint. Police say the gunmen then stole their white Chrysler.
It appears the legal battle over marriage licenses in Rowan County will be heading to the U.S. Supreme Court. Thursday, a federal appeals court upheld a judge's order that told Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis to issue marriage licenses. But when some couples showed up for licenses yesterday, her office turned them away. Davis stopped issuing marriage licenses after the U.S. Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. She cited her religious beliefs as the reason. Couples trying to get marriage licenses in Rowan County say they're tired of waiting.
There's no reason for her to be using her religious beliefs and elected official job to be keeping people from their constitutional rights.
Davis's office claims the judge's order is still delayed until August 31st. Her attorneys say they will file an emergency petition with the U.S. Supreme Court to try to extend the delay.
Well, this morning, Lexington has a new city council member for the 12th district. Yesterday, Mayor Jim Gray appointed businessman Russ Hensley to fill the seat. He takes over for Ed Lane, who died earlier this month. Hensley is part owner and co-founder of Hensley Elam, an information technology services company. This is the first time Hensley has held a political office.
Lexington's taking care of my family and the businesses. And, you know, we've always tried to take care of the businesses. This is just another way for me to help return that back to the community and look out for, you know, the economic development of Lexington.
Hensley will serve the remaining 16 months of Lane's term. He says he plans to run for a full term next year.
A burglar went to some extreme measures to steal from a central Kentucky business on Wednesday night. And as you're about to see, it's all been caught on surveillance video. The burglar used a dumpster attached to a car to crash into a gun store in Montgomery County. There it goes. The video then shows him getting out of the car and stealing guns. WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked to the store's owner.
Never underestimate a thief.
Scratch marks on the parking lot pavement outside Walter's Arms tell the story.
I would have never thought of using the dumpster to use it as a battering ram through the front door.
But it's the kind of thing you almost have to see to believe.
There's your dumpster.
Surveillance video from inside the shop shows a driver slamming into the front doors before he backs up and hits them again. Then the man gets out, crawling through the busted glass and gates into the store. 26 seconds later, he walked back out, taking two guns with him. Store owner Bruce Walters says it could have been much worse than that.
I am amazed that this gentleman took two cheaper handguns when there is way more expensive guns in this store that would have been well worth the money. If I'm going to go through the trouble and know that I might get caught and I might be going to jail, let's make it worth our time.
Walters says the 2 guns are worth about $850 total, but the damage to the building was several thousand. Still, Walters says through this, he's learned a priceless lesson.
So now I'll back up and I'll, secure the building even more than what it was and make it harder for the next one. He outsmarted us and he used a dumpster. This time. There won't be a next time with that one.
In Mount Sterling, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And Mount Sterling police are saying that the car the suspect used to break through the doors is a tan 2011 Chevy Suburban and was stolen earlier Wednesday morning in Owingsville. Police still have not made any arrests.
A 14-year-old Eastern Kentucky boy faces charges for the shooting death of his grandfather. The shooting happened Wednesday night at a home in Harlan County. State police say the victim, 56-year-old Teddy Jackson, was dead when they arrived at the home. They've charged the teenager with reckless homicide, evidence tampering, and wanton endangerment.
It was determined that the 14-year-old grandson was mishandling the shotgun, which caused the weapon to fire, striking the victim, which fatally wounded him.
Well, police say Jackson was holding a 5-year-old child in his lap at the time, but that child was not injured.
The time this morning is 4:36 here on WKYT, and a U.S. Air Force captain from Lexington is being remembered as a hard worker and a born leader. The military says 27-year-old Captain Matthew Rowland was shot and killed earlier this week at a vehicle checkpoint in Afghanistan. He graduated from Lexington Catholic High School in 2006 and from the Air Force Academy 4 years later. Captain Rowland's former teachers say he had always planned to go into the military.
There's a certain kind of kid that wants to. He was really a quiet kid, but there was a passion in him, and you knew that he was going to do something special, and that he wanted to be important and do something great.
Governor Beshear has ordered flags be lowered to half staff on the day of Captain Rowland's burial, and funeral arrangements are pending.
Some people say drones are a growing concern around the country and right here in Lexington as well. As we first reported yesterday, a drone crash landed on top of the 5th Third building downtown. Workers there say the person operating it asked security if he could go on the roof to retrieve it. He was denied. Drone experts say events like this show a need for better education about the devices. WKYT's Monique Blair has the story.
And 10 years from now, we'll be at the point where cell phones are today.
Chris Stiles is the president of Unmanned Services, Inc., a company that flies drones for commercial purposes. There are 3 categories of drone users: civil, commercial, and recreational, or hobbyist.
Most hobbyists, they could buy one on Amazon, and 2 days later it's at their doorstep. They pull it out of the box and they could throw it up and fly it immediately. But, a lot of them, they crash it within 5 minutes, or they crash it after 2 or 3 flights.
Stiles says there are virtually new uses for drones every day, but he says it's very important for the operator to know the rules and safety precautions before operating one.
The FAA has so many regulations that affect manned aircraft. I mean, the books are really thick, the aviation regulations. So then, some of them still apply to us. We still have to know and fly according to that. And then some things we're exempt from. Some things where there's stricter mandates put on us. So it's figuring out and knowing all of the things. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of knowledge.
And now with more drones in the air than ever before, Urban County Council member Richard Maloney is pushing for more education of drone use.
There's a lot of unanswered questions out there with these drones, so we just got to be sure we get on the right page and educate the public.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Well, the FAA says the basic guidelines for people flying drones is to fly them under 400 feet, stay at least 3 miles away from airports, and avoid flying in a manner that could put people or property at harm.
Well, this morning, police in Whitley County are looking for a man who robbed a gas station. They say that happened last night at a gas station just off Interstate 75 at exit 15 at Goldbug. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office says the man walked in, showed a weapon, and demanded money. He then ran off. No injuries are reported there. WKYT This Morning is just getting started on your Friday as we roll toward the weekend, and it's nice to have you along.
Should your child go to college? And if so, what's the most lucrative major? Moms Every Day will tell us later in the show.
And we're looking outside in the 50s again. Now, the mornings are just the same. However, we get into the afternoon, we'll be in the 80s. That usually means some rain is on the way, and the chances do increase for the weekend. I'll show you that coming up next.